G'day guys, welcome back to another Roughed Up episode 17 with myself, Eli Hooper, Ryan Hyde,
and we're here with
Farmer Andy.
Yeah. Hello.
Welcome back to the Roughed Up podcast.
So we're basically just going to interview you about who you are, what you do, everything you've done. How would you describe yourself?
6'5", Caucasian man, glasses, strange personality, No, just, as you've come to know me the last half an hour, pretty normal, I guess.
Normal bloke, that's into somewhat of fame, would you call it?
Yeah, I never intended for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why it happened. I think with all that kind of stuff, internet fame, social media stuff, people who are just authentically themselves were the ones who attract other authentic people. Yeah. You can always tell when someone's on social media and they're pretending to be something they're not.
Yeah.
So
there are a lot of them at the moment, like I Show Speed and Kai and who's...
But I also think like the genuine people get to a point and then they get pushed away because they're like, a lot of people in here are fake and they just don't want to deal with it.
And also when you get hate, it's like actually hate on you. Yeah. Because there's no,
I've had death threats.
Really?
Yeah. So I used to have goes at vegans back in the day.
Yeah.
And I still do on occasion. But, I had...
You get in the conversation of vegan booty.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. But I've had legitimate death threats and other threats as well. Yeah. And that was back a couple of years ago now. And that was when I was like, okay, I've got to be careful about things like I can't say location anymore. Yeah. Because I could have people who are not good people show up to the farm.
Yeah.
But you just got to watch your P's and Q's now. Yeah. Because people will pick at anything if they don't like you.
Yeah.
And you can be the nicest person on the planet, you're still going to have people who don't like you.
Yeah. And everyone says something questionable.
Yeah. Like even us, we've only just started and we got a lot of hate at the very start. Yeah. And it's kind of died down now because we've kind of shown that we can do something.
Yeah.
But it's just...
That's when they go for you, right? At the beginning, they test you.
Yeah.
People like to test you. They test the waters, and then when they work out that you're fair dinkum, it's like, well, there's nothing there's no game for them anymore. It's like bullies.
Yeah.
The bully will keep going for you if you keep giving them something back. Yeah. And if you ignore the bully, they'll go, oh, there's nothing for me here. They'll move on.
Ryan is really good at like responding to people, not being mad.
But being overly polite. Yeah. It like annoys them even more.
If someone were to say what they say, I would say, meet at this location, mate. That's it.
But you've travelled, I won't say where from, but you've travelled to the Big Smoke.
Yeah.
How was it? How was your travel?
Oh, it was a lovely travelling time for me. Yeah, no, it was good. No, I enjoyed it. It's good to get out away from the farm for a bit. However, briefly, but fine. Just got to deal with the city drivers.
Yeah. See any two-headed people yet?
I see them where I come from rather than seeing them here. It's crazy seeing so many people with shoes on. Where I'm from is just way more people than shoes. So it's, no, I'm having a go. Yeah. But no, it's good drive and beautiful spot here.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll get into I guess who you are instead of a 6 foot. What would you describe yourself as, to anyone that doesn't know?
I'm very jovial, pretty down to earth, genuinely.
Yeah.
I like learning about people. So being on the other, I'm usually the kind of person who asks them about themselves. So to be on the receiving end of it's a bit different, pretty humble. Had some very interesting life experiences which have, I think, and the right upbringing which has kind of helped me have this perspective of you've got to learn from your bad experiences and not be a victim to your struggles. You've got to own the struggles and not let them own you. That kind of a person,
and learn from the experiences that you get.
Big time. I think a lot of people, I don't think they actively choose not to learn from their experiences. They exist. And it's not their own fault, and I guess you just got to take a step back and go, okay, how can I improve? What went wrong? How can I sort that? How can I better deal with myself? Better deal with other people?
But so you mentioned your childhood. How was your childhood, like growing up on the farm?
I'm a very nostalgic man these days. Seriously, I'm very lucky that the farm, I grew up there. I still live there. And so there are even things like there's a gate. We have a certain gate that goes down to one of our sheds, and it makes this bloody squawking noise. You know, as he bloody goes, you know, it needs some CRC on it.
WD-40.
Yeah. But it makes that same noise, and it was I used to ride that gate. I used to jump on it. I used to get in trouble for doing it. Back when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I'd jump on it and swing along with the gate. Just things like that, you know? But just the landscape of the farm too. I'm very nostalgic about it all. And I love looking back at photos of that time and everything. And then like look at the photo, look at this, wow, like it hasn't changed that much, you know? But I had a good upbringing. We never went on holidays or anything like that on a dairy farm. But we never went without either. Like it wasn't the biggest, flashiest upbringing in the world. It was probably a bit hard at times, but I noticed it was a good upbringing, and I never went without, and I learned a lot from. My parents were older. Mum was 35 when I was born, and Dad was 39. So very grounded people. You know, by the time I was a teenager, I've got parents who are like old enough to be grandparents. You know, so.
And are you one sibling? Or?
No, I've got other siblings. Yeah.
So are they all younger than you?
No, older. I'm the baby.
But by how much?
Only 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not like my siblings are 50. You know, they just about could be. My parents are nearly old enough for that, but I'm only just the baby. But I'm the one that stayed. I was the one who was mad enough to go, this is okay. You know, the others like, get out of here as soon as I can. Holy cow, you know?
I imagine being a kid on like a farm, there's just so much freedom that you can just run around and do anything you want. To
an extent. I mean, you've always got the dangers of like brown snakes outside, you know, and dangerous machinery and landscape and animals, but pretty well, very free compared to an upbringing in the city, I guess, you know, but less convenience as well.
That's true.
Like we didn't go to the cinema all the time, we'd go down to the beach or go to a playground and stuff like that. That was a lot less accessible to us. I bet like you just said then, like you got all this freedom, but also at some point you're just like, I'm bored. I'm gonna go do something else. And that's when it's good to do things like this and come to the city.
Definitely. So we got you take it. Well, would you say you've taken over the roles of the farm fully, or
no? It's slow. It's slow. It's a slow takeover. I'll see the old man out sooner or later. No, that's not what I mean. No. It's look, compared to say when I graduated school back in 2013 to now, I certainly have a lot more responsibilities. I do more things. I can do more things. And with most farms, you want to pass it on to the next generation. You know, it's not something. It's like an asset to sell. You know, it's an asset to keep. And so and it's fun.
Oh, is that daunting for you, knowing that you're about like
more and more so because you know, Dad's 66 now, and Mum's 61, and I think more and more about their mortality. Even though life expectancy in Australia is around 80 years or something, that's only 15 years away. Like, you know, it's a bit sad.
And do they are they going not in the farm as much now, like travelling a little bit, or are they still hanging around?
No, so mum's quite severely disabled. So mum doesn't really go anywhere much. She's at home a lot. And no, Dad is not he's not a people's person. He doesn't like people that much. He's very reclusive. So no, he won't ever go travelling anywhere much, I don't think. You know, he's quite happy on the farm. You know, and the farm is what it is because of him. He's put a lot of effort into it.
He's probably just proud to see what he's done and just chilling out and looking at what he's accomplished, I guess. I'd love to do the same thing.
For 5 hunk of
oh wow.
When's the fireman calendar coming out?
You know, there've been like back, you know, drought relief ideas have been floated. Like, we get all like, you know, well-known agricultural people and do a calendar. I was like, you don't want to see that. No. I have dignity still. I don't think I want to do that. It wouldn't be smoking hot. It'd be like ridicule. Like
Isn't that like the natural like bell toll now? You go from TikTok to OnlyFans.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. Only Farms. Subscribe. No, I see that's very popular these days.
Yeah.
The OF.
Yeah.
There are a lot of social media people who turn to it.
Yeah.
I could go on a very long rant about people who make money out of social media, I tell you.
Yeah.
But well, we even looked at it the other day. The owner of OnlyFans, he's the like sole owner of it, and he paid himself $3 million a day in salary.
A day.
For like what? When?
Just
it's
owning it.
Yeah.
Owning
Okay.
it.
Yeah. $3 million a day.
No,
Okay.
it was more than that?
I thought it was $3 million a day.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Yeah.
thought it was more.
It doesn't surprise me
Yeah.
because the creators themselves make an absolute killing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like more money than you'd think. The successful ones.
I think
Yeah.
last year it was something like in the $6 billion.
Yeah, and it was that Catch Me Outside. How about that? She
Dr. Phil.
These guys seem to know a lot about OnlyFans.
Research.
Go to the right place to learn about it.
she earned like 56 million for the year.
He knows more than me.
56 million.
Wink.
I contributed a little bit. No, I don't.
Talk about farming, not OnlyFans.
Well, that's farming in a way. Farming lonely souls and their money, exploiting them. You know.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Alright, we'll talk about like your day to day, like on the farm, because obviously we see you on social media, like I said, at like 11 o'clock at night on live, and then I wake up in the morning and look at your story and you're like dancing, milking cows to like an ABBA song.
Yep. Sounds like me. Yeah.
How do you manage to do all of that in your day?
It's one thing I'll say to everybody is you wouldn't believe how many hours there are in the day.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think people really take a moment to realise how much time there is in a day.
Yeah.
And when you're waking up at sometimes 3 o'clock, more usually around 4:30 for me, and going to bed at around 10:30, 11 o'clock, there's a lot of hours in that day to accomplish a lot of things if you put your mind. And slow and steady wins the race too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess probably the real question is like, how do I do it without much sleep?
Yes.
And it's practice. Like I was saying to you guys earlier before the podcast, it's practice. It makes perfect. I think when I was younger, I wouldn't have been able to do it. The older I've gotten, the more I have deprived myself of sleep. You just. Yeah.
Has your milk intake gone up?
My milk intake's gone down. I used to drink 2 litres of milk a day.
Wow.
It's a lot of milk. And now it's more like just 1 litre of milk a day. That's not including like flavoured milks.
Oh, okay.
So we include flavoured milks. You know, it's not.
It's
great.
not.
It's a very unhealthy diet. I had a nice coffee on the way here, one of those 750ml dares. Yeah, great stuff. Cracking stuff.
Well, my girlfriend behind the camera is a dare fiend.
Yep.
She used to get a dare every day, and she's changed to Norco.
Yeah, I mean, look, we supplied Bega, who own Dare Iced Coffee.
Yeah.
So you'd be supporting our farm. So now you're taking your support away. It's hurt me a little inside. But no, Norco's great too.
Yeah.
Look, Andy, for you, I'll switch back to Dare.
Yeah, no, that's why I buy it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't mind the Norco stuff either, to be honest. I think Icebreak's okay too. That's owned by Lactalis, who have Paul's.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got the big, I think they bottle it in the city near like the museum and stuff.
Yeah. I
don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that.
They do.
I think,
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's Icebreak, I think, is in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what's your day to day look like? Do you wake up and then go straight to the cows?
Pretty well. So I wake up however early I wake up, and then pretty well within 10 minutes I'm at the dairy. The dairy is just behind my house.
Yeah.
So I live in the house my Nana and Pop bought back in 1949.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1949 they bought that place in the original part of the farm.
Many renos?
In that time, not really since my life, but the old house, the house is over 100 years old now.
Yeah.
And since it was initially built to now, it's definitely had work done to it. Yeah. But anyway, back to my day rather than the housing I am in. So the dairy is about, a brisk walk behind my house.
Yeah.
And so I'm there pretty early. Get to the dairy around at least around 5 o'clock, if not earlier.
Yeah.
Then start actually milking the cows at 5:30. In that time between 5 and 5:30, I'll be setting the dairy up while Dad goes and gets all the animals, all the cows, and checks on everything, and then start milking the cows at about 5:30, and then after everything, milking, feeding things, moving animals around, get home around 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you really want to know the rest of my day? Bloody hell, it changes, it chops and changes, but you got the 2 milkings each day, regardless. And the milkings are, I'm at the dairy from 5 till 8:30 in the morning, and then about 4 until 7 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
And in between that, there's all kinds of stuff you'll do.
Yeah.
All kinds. Yeah.
Maintenance.
All kinds of maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's not fencing, plumbing, cattle work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like moving cattle around from different paddock to different paddock, treating them, medicating.
How are they moving every morning?
Easy as.
Really?
Easy as, because they're in a routine, they're in a rhythm. Yeah. The younger ones are a bit more difficult, can be more cantankerous. But the cows, the milking cows, which we move the most, pretty easy. They move as a herd.
How many cows?
Around 200 we milk.
200.
Wow.
Sounds amazing, but it's actually below average.
Yeah.
So the average milking herd in Australia, so cows you're milking at any one time in that herd, is about 250.
250.
So we're below average.
How many litres of milk is that on
A year? 1.1 to 1.2 million litres a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the maths on that, but so it's a fair bit.
Yeah.
But that's a less quantity than average.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, there are smaller than us as well, but there are some dairy farms in Australia that are just huge, milking herds of thousands and thousands.
Well, I've been to Mullaney Dairy and looked at their whole. They do a tour through there, and I know they said you probably remember this because you were with me, but they said they get some disease and then they have to separate the milk. What was it? It was when they're pregnant or something.
I forget what it was called, but it was, when
They had to separate the milk from the others. Is there many of that happens? I don't
Disease.
Look, okay, I'm thinking maybe it was mastitis.
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Or is it antibiotics?
Yeah, maybe.
So when you dry a cow off, so a cow's pregnancy is 9 months like a human being.
Yeah.
About 7 months in, they will naturally begin to dry up, not lactate as much.
Yeah, okay.
And so at which point you will give them a pretty concentrated antibiotic with a very long withholding period, I'm not sure exactly, it depends on the antibiotic, but it's quite a long withholding period, which means that milk cannot be, it's not fit for human consumption for a period of time.
Yeah.
And so perhaps they had milk with antibiotic in it. Otherwise, mastitis potentially.
Yeah.
And if they're a cow that's recently calved, is that what it was? Maybe they'll have colostrum in their milk.
I think that was it.
Yeah, and in which case you don't put that in the milk. Yeah, you separate that.
Yeah, okay.
I'd say that would be what it was, probably colostrum.
To me, it's probably a simple thing, but to me it would be hard to keep up with all that.
Yeah,
With you said 200 or 400?
Cows, 200 cows we have.
200 cows to keep up with that constantly.
Yeah, I know.
But we've got more adult animals than that on the farm.
Yeah.
That's our milking herd. We've got about 450 head, all up, including calves, bulls, cows.
You need an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah. Well, we're old school. We've got the old ledger kind of thing going.
Yeah. Put a number. Got the number. The ear tags, don't they?
We do.
Yeah.
So they've got a NILS tag, a National Livestock Identification System, which is a little electronic tag they've all got. And then, we name them on our farm, as you know. And but they've got little numbers above them as well, above the name. Yeah.
You can tell we're not farmers, eh?
No.
No idea. No idea. But I know Pringle.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Pringle. Why do you think Pringle is
so popular?
Yeah.
Because of her spunky attitudes. She's a hoot. We love Pringle. No, she's a bit, you know, as I was saying to you guys earlier, she can be very aggressive. I've been bruised many times by Pringle, you know. She's lovely, but she's...
She also puts up with a lot.
Oh, yeah. No, we play. Yeah, I push her around and everything, and she pushes back. You know, it's good fun, though, and she's lovely. But, yeah.
You've had Santa hats on her. And...
Yeah, I did. Yeah, good. That's a good memory.
Yeah.
I did have a Santa hat on her. Yeah.
How did you manage that?
It had I think it had a strap around the bottom. Yeah, otherwise it would not stay on. Yeah. So, but she's just about as quiet as they come.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Really tame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were farming for quite a while, and then you've decided to do TikTok videos.
Yeah.
And what was correlation there? You're like,
I had a nose job.
yeah.
If you can see there. No, I had a nose job, not a cosmetic one.
Your
Yeah.
sister picked that up because we're watching your TikToks and...
She's a doctor studying
She's
to
a
be a doctor, by the
doctor.
way.
She automatically
Studying.
picked it up.
That I'd had work done.
Yeah. She automatically picked it up, didn't she?
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Not cosmetic though.
No.
I had a deviated septum.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had a surgery on that.
Yeah.
And so I had 2 weeks where I was high as a kite on tramadol. Yeah, good stuff, hey. I remember one day looking at my hands going, whoa. You know like you see in movies, they look at their hands like everything's weird? It was so real. Like that's the memory. Everything was like really real and present. I was like, what is going on?
My hands are so big.
Yeah, I know. You're like legit, like they are.
Big hands, big gloves.
Yeah, that's what it means. Yeah, huge gloves. So I had 2 weeks off, and so I thought I would try TikTok out because I didn't have it, and so I posted some videos on there, and they did well.
China.
Yeah, I know. China, we love China. So I gave that a shot, and I built on it though.
Yeah.
You know, and had a bit of fun with it. I used to be a bit more controversial at the beginning than I am now, because it went from 0 to 200,000 followers in about 4 months.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that was my biggest. That was a lot of growth.
Yeah.
So November 2020 to March 2021, about 200,000 followers.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. A lot of them have stuck around the whole. Like that's years ago now. Yeah.
You still, you see you're in lives like all the time, and there's still like heaps of people watching, like on average, and everyone's just chatting to you. Some randoms join and you tell them about drop bears.
Yeah. So the secret to that, everybody, if you want to teach people about drop bears who aren't from Australia, you got to really say it quite seriously, like genuinely go. You know. So have you ever heard about? I'll pretend like you're someone.
You're
Okay, I'm a foreigner.
He's an alien, everybody. That's more believable. Okay, so do you know koalas?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever heard of drop bears before?
Oh, what's a job?
Well, they're actually an endangered species in Australia.
Yeah.
They're a bit like a koala, but they sit at the top of the trees like the koalas do. They love eucalyptus, but there's another thing that they love more than that is the flesh of human beings.
Really? Wow.
So they drop onto unsuspecting prey. So they look like a koala, but they got bigger claws and they got fangs. So they just drop. The person's there. They just full on drop on them. Yeah. It's the leading cause of death in some areas. That's when they start going, hold on a second, that sounds really weird.
Have you ever done the hoop snake? Have you heard the hoop snake thing?
No.
There's like another one, a hoop snake, and they like a snakes that bite their own tails.
Okay.
And roll into a hoop, and if you're down in like a valley, they roll and jump at you. Yeah, it's like another like drop bear thing.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
And they'll probably believe it.
Yeah.
Because to me, I was like, what? They do that? Oh my God.
Yeah.
The hoop snakes.
Hoop snakes.
Yeah.
But Eli's said many times on this podcast, Americans aren't the smartest bunch.
Yeah.
Well, look at their presidents.
Exactly.
They've elected over the course of a long time, actually, but more recently. That's very...
Trumpy and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's it, hey. It's, I think they're just a much more polarised society than what we are in Australia, and they're more tribal.
Yeah.
And possibly not as informed on purpose.
Yeah.
Don't enjoy the
I
news.
think it's coming out now, and I'm seeing a lot of people talk about how it's just a popularity contest. From from the day they were born, like going through high school, you want to be the bloody top like
quarterback.
The quarterback want to be the president of the school.
Yep.
That's just how America is. Getting to the top.
I think Australia is actually a lot like that too, except one massive difference here is mateship.
Yeah.
And we're a very multicultural society too, so we're very accepting.
And I think people call out people a bit more.
Here. Yeah, well, we've got tall poppy syndrome in Australia. You know, if you're doing well, oh, bugger you. How dare you do better than me? I actually hate that so much. Because when someone does well, you should be going like, that's awesome, man, rather than going, you had this help and finding anything to pick them on. But I was going, good for you. You know, I've got my own life. Live and let live, you know?
Yeah, exactly. We'll move on to, so you obviously started your TikTok when you got your, surgery done. What was your first TikTok? What was your very first...
Calves. I think a lot of them are just calves.
Yeah.
Calves?
Hello. Welcome to the world. Have you seen those? Yeah. I just because you can't. I can't go. Hey there, how you going? And poor people with their headphones in right now going, Jesus Christ. But let's imagine going up to a newborn calf and going, ah! Like they're going to get just absolutely spooked. So you got to be nice and quiet with them. Yeah. But a lot of calf videos. That's what really took off. Yeah. I recently discovered a new feature on TikTok. Yeah. If I have my phone, it's off. I'll show you. But you can press on a button that. You know when you look at someone's TikTok and the profile grid is usually their pinned videos and their most recent ones, you can press a button that just shows you the top videos.
Oh, yeah.
Popular videos.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I only figured that out the other day. And then you can see people's most viral videos. Yeah, and a lot of mine are calf related. Yeah. Oh, wow. People love the newborn calves.
They are very cute though.
They are. Yeah.
How quickly do they grow up? How long do they mature so you can milk them if they're
So they have to have had a calf themselves to be milked. So lactate like a human being.
I did not know that.
There you go. Yeah, they don't just magically just produce milk unicorns. So they have to have had a calf. Yeah. So at least 9 months. No, way too young. So on our farm, they're usually around 3 years of age.
3 years.
But on a lot of other dairy farms, more like 2 years. We're a bit slower to it. Yeah.
So you're not making profit on a cow for 3 years when they're born, and then you got to wait another 9 months, so almost 4 years.
No. So 3 years is about when they will have their calf. So about 2 years or a bit more is when they'll get pregnant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what do you do with the males?
So we sell all of our bull calves to a really beautiful family. They may even be watching this. Hello. They're lovely people, by the way. They drive from a number of hours away to collect. We sell all our bull calves to them, even a number of heifer calves. Bull, for those of you who may not know, a bull is a male and a heifer is a female. Yeah. All of our bull calves are sold to them and even some heifers.
That's for meat, or what's the reason?
Actually, curriculum. They're beginning. I don't know much about it yet because it's only beginning with them. But they're doing a lot of. They want to do curriculum-based stuff with schools.
Wow, that's pretty.
That's awesome. And you'd not feel bad. You're like, you can take it.
Yeah. But even if it was for meat, that's a massive source of nutrition for a lot of people. You shouldn't be feeling guilty for it.
And as well, that's what their kind of life is for.
Yeah.
It's a controversial topic. But it shouldn't be. I have my...
It's only controversial because you get, in many instances, very vocal minorities who are very self-righteous. And they will guilt you into... It's false guilt. But they will guilt you into thinking another way.
My dad, right, he's very vocal on Facebook, right? And...
He's a boomer, I guess. He might not quite be a boomer.
Oh,
no, he's not a boomer.
40.
My parents are boomers.
7?
Yeah, probably Gen X.
Yeah. But anyway,
interesting.
He's very vocal on Facebook. He's been to Facebook jail many a time. But the main...
And even real jail.
and the culprit to that many a times has been vegan booty.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay.
He just goes into it. And it's hilarious because you know my dad. But he just gives it to her, and then he ends up getting banned.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of people don't like her at all.
I try not to comment on individuals because of who I am.
Yeah.
No, but I will speak about that entire topic.
Yeah.
Because I won't speak badly of her.
Yeah.
But she is somebody who I would probably, in a perfect world, wouldn't mind having a discussion with, a public discussion with.
Yeah.
But the only bad thing about that is that you are then attracting a lot of negative attention.
Yeah.
And that's not what I'm about on social media.
Yeah.
I don't like being in that space because, and she does.
Yeah.
She likes the controversy, as do many social media creators. They love the controversy because it's what gets them views, it's what gets them clicks, it's what gets them money.
Yeah.
And they exploit. People like her. They argue that farmers are exploiting animals.
Yeah.
She's exploiting people.
Yeah.
And she's exploiting an ideology.
Yeah.
Because she makes money from.
The
clicks
Yeah.
on it.
And
From
it's also-
but what we were talking before.
Yeah.
She makes money from OF.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
she is known for what reason? She's an internet personality who goes after farmers.
Yeah.
So she is actually exploiting people.
Yeah.
You could argue.
Yeah, but as well, like you wonder then, like they have this ideology, and I guess they could be vegan, but then when it gets to a point, do they just do it for the clicks and views, or are they doing it to spread the message?
You'd have to, honestly, it'd be very hard to psychoanalyze somebody like that. I don't know her personally. No one is the villain in their own story. And so, and when it comes to vegans, it's only about 5% of them who are really militant, really self-righteous people. A lot of them are just people who want to have that diet for whatever reason, and they don't force it on anybody else. It's when they start to force, anybody of any agenda starts to force it onto you.
It's the same as it's the same as like religion, like that. It's just if you get forced upon, I don't want to hear. You can do what you want. I don't care. It doesn't hurt me. Just don't force it on other people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look, when they start making money out of it, it's very hard to anybody. It makes any money out of anything other than so really any small business and enterprise exempt. An individual who seeks to make money out of their followers, whether it be through brand deals or TikTok live battles, stuff like that. They care so much more about themselves than any idea or any follower they have. They don't see their followers as individuals anymore. They see them as a bargaining chip, a mass, and they love looking at the numbers. Oh, look how famous I am. There's God complex about them, and it's all about them and self-importance, and they can't connect with people genuinely. And it's sad because TikTok does that to them, and other forms of social media, but it does that to them. And I've met, as I said to you earlier, I've met other people from TikTok, and in my circle, they're all pretty fair dinkum. But I've met a couple who are definitely pretenders, and there's a lot of them out there.
Well, we can talk about like even the TikTok live space, how weird that can be. Some of the stuff you see on there, like the TikTok battles. You'd see someone who's like
snipe. Thank you for the roses. Oh, the NPC. Thank you for the roses. Likes. All that.
Or even if you like Trump, send a rose. If you like Joe Biden, send this other thing. And it's how do you sit there and just go, and
then after doing it, like I was saying before, be like, I just did that, and
people give them money to do it. People are sitting there and watching and spending money.
Yeah, you took advantage of people.
I can't imagine sitting there watching something like that and then going, oh yeah, I'm going to spend $50 on this.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people who put the money into it, it's purely entertainment. And they've got the money to spend apparently.
Netflix isn't that expensive. Put some money in it. Get Netflix for a month.
TikTok's a weird space. I was going to talk to you about also your switch over that you kind of did from TikTok to Instagram. And what was your thoughts behind that and why you did it?
Well, I mean, my TikTok will always be a lot larger than my Instagram could ever be. Instagram's a more personal space. It's a place where people compared to TikTok, you're more likely to actually connect with somebody through message or through comments, and actually be Whereas TikTok's more of like YouTube. It's a viewer's app.
Yeah.
You know, and you'll mindlessly like things. Whereas Instagram's more personable. And that's why I like it more.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't think I'll ever be able to just be on Instagram as much as I would like that, because it is more personal. That's why I'm on it, for the connection.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's why I prefer it. It's just more real.
Yeah.
TikTok is trending sounds, and can be. All social media can be, but TikTok seems to be incredibly toxic.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like it as much.
Yeah. You read some of the comment sections on TikTok and you're just like, how do people even think of that?
Yeah.
Some of them can be funny and some of them probably shouldn't be funny, but yeah, some of the people on TikTok are insane, like properly just out of nowhere and crazy.
Yeah.
It like OnlyFans and other things affects their employability down the line.
Oh yeah.
I definitely know of creators who have, genuine, before TikTok, and currently still with their TikTok, have genuine aspirations to be quite important people in our society, and they completely destroy their reputation for some views and stuff. It's very shallow.
Yeah,
Very.
And you wonder, like, I'm sure that's happened sometime in the past, that someone who was an influencer has gone into a normal job and it's been hard to actually find a job.
Reality TV. I mean, you've probably read that on the news. It's just the same.
Yeah.
If you are a large creator, and people know who you are, you've got a reputation.
Yeah.
If you've got a good reputation, that probably doesn't affect you at all.
Yeah.
It may affect you in some instances, but if you've got a reputation which is dramatic, you're a dramatic person, you're a toxic person, you're a stupid person, you're a silly person, a lot of businesses won't want to touch you.
And as well with reality TV, like the producers and stuff spin.
Oh, mate, I knew somebody who was on Farmer Wants a Wife, believe it or not.
Oh, it's fine.
And,
Oh, that's right, we're Farmer. Farmer Wants a Wife.
Yeah. Oh, people think that. Yeah. I wouldn't touch it. Even if I was single, I would not touch it. No offense. I've been asked by producers.
Really?
Yeah. Big Brother's asked me as well to do auditions, but the producers ask you to do them, so you probably got a good chance. But she said the amount of things they had to reshoot over and over and over and over and over, right? So they get a slightly different angle on things, and you say something slightly different, and they chop it all up into a manufactured story, which they then, once you sign a contract with these reality TV shows, they own your soul. They own your image and your reputation, and no amount of money is worth your dignity. Seriously, and these people or any amount of like fame is not worth your dignity.
Well, I know in the UK, what's that show? Love Island.
Yeah.
They all go in there to get their Instagram followers. It's like kind of seen as that now. Like they go in there and they get like 200k followers when they're out.
Starting OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. But
and they're very beautiful people.
But now Love Island have put in their contract that they have to put their Instagram profile on private before they go in.
Really?
So they don't gain heaps of followers because lots of people are just going on there now to just get followers, which is...
I mean, regardless of that, they will still get they'll definitely get all the followers still, or the small-minded people who are looking for something nice to look at. Regardless of, after the show's over, they'll still find them. Definitely.
Yeah, it's...
Going about how like shows can be changed. Have you seen on like Married at First Sight? I don't know if you watch it. Probably not.
Been a long time since I watched that.
They'll like shoot like people eating dinner, and while like the shooting, like there's dessert, there's main meal, there's entree, there's no food there.
Right.
Stories going on. So like obviously.
It's
exactly what you're saying,
clearly manufactured, and it's to get people to watch it. Because I mean, they need it to be really good because so many people are tuning away from free-to-air television.
That's it.
Why would you watch free-to-air television when you can watch Netflix, Disney Plus, and Binge and whatever Stan, everything else?
And you can watch YouTube and it's actually entertaining news, or the news isn't like someone getting stabbed every 5 minutes.
I mean, it's important to be informed.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, no, I totally understand what you mean. Like, generally
The news
speaking.
is so depressing.
Oh, so we started doing news stuff.
Yeah.
And we were just, we can't do this. It's just so sad.
Yeah.
Like everything.
You mean in like an analytical sense, or you mean like personal stories about old Joe down the road who got hit by a car?
Yeah, well, it's just everything on the news. There's nothing like happy. There's always like the granny got tased by the cops. At, like the age
or
of
someone
90.
getting stabbed, or how we're never going to be able to afford a house. It's all those things.
Yeah,
It's I mean, you go into a rabbit hole there, couldn't you? You could really go into a rabbit hole, but it is in a way conditioning,
Yes.
and it's sad.
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
You
we can talk about the whole Woolies Coles controversial topic at the moment.
This is a topic that you brought up recently.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the whole monopoly that they've got at the moment?
Well, yeah, the duopoly of Coles and Woolies has been a thing for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny how a lot of people are only just, because it's a trend, let's all have a go at them now.
Yeah.
They've been slowly taking over for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are just jumping on a bandwagon now.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's a good bandwagon to be on because Coles and Woolworths have absolutely screwed over so many farmers over the decades and people. I mean, you look at the price gouging now, you know, and then they want to install facial recognising cameras and everything else so they can figure out who's shoplifting in a time when you've got inflation and interest rates going through, cost of living, absolute crisis. Let's go after the poorest of the poor. And not a great look.
And you saw when there are like whatever profits they release to the public, and then like a week later they're like, oh sorry, and then dropped their prices by like a little bit, like a percentage, to say sorry.
Yeah,
and it's
because like they're making so much money, and then still marking the prices up on everything.
And like you said with the whole like how they're installing all these systems, like Coles now even have like those barricades that like shut in front of you. I don't know if you've seen them, but our local Coles have.
We don't have flash things like that where I'm from.
This is just you.
Like generally down our local Coles, they have these big barricades that they can lock you into the shop now if you're trying to steal. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
They do, genuinely.
They just
Massive.
What kind of people do you have here?
Yeah.
They're not just stealing honey.
Yeah.
Which you were telling me they have in bloody glass boxes around here. Honey fiends. I think Winnie the Pooh must live around here somewhere. But now bloody barricades stopping people from leaving.
Yeah, but they're spending like millions of dollars in installing all these things. Like I even went to Woolies the other day and I bought some Bilsons, like the vodka. And I had it in my like basket in my Woolies shop because I got it beforehand, came out, scanned everything, went to pay for it, and it like alarmed at me and zoomed in on my basket on the screen and said, "You still haven't scanned this." And I'm like, I did not even know the camera was there.
Well, eventually AI will become AI. And be like, I didn't buy from here.
Yeah, exactly.
Destroy. No, stop. Incinerate. Yeah.
But we'll go into like how they've kind of stuffed over the dairy industry and what are they doing to you guys?
Well, back in 2011, I'm sure you guys remember the down, prices are down, so that was $1 a litre milk happened then, at which point that you guys, the consumer, having a set price on that milk for sustained set price of shelf price for years meant that we weren't getting a pay increase either, despite our expenditure growing as it does with the economy, inflation. And so you saw over the course of years of that down, prices are down, and the $1 a litre milk campaign that Coles began, but Woolworths followed suit to compete.
Yeah.
Literally thousands of dairy farms in Australia over that time, from that, had to say goodbye to everything. Like, imagine that. You lose your job and everything because you just can't afford it because you've got social media, supermarket buddy giants who've just, they are corporate greed. And as you know, the massive profits they're making. You know, meanwhile you've got working class people losing everything for a long time. And on the news these days, I often see, you know, oh, have you seen the price of cheese? Have you seen the price of milk? Oh, it's gone up. You know, they always focus on dairy because it's a staple of the diet for a lot of people, and it's something which, for whatever reason, a lot of people take notice of. I think because people have been conditioned to believe that dairy should be cheap, not really realising the amount of money that goes into.
Well, that's it. You
and
said
the work that goes into it as well. It's insane.
Well, you said that you couldn't afford selling it for $1 a litre, and you.
Well, we were getting less money than that. Yeah.
So, what? Like that's 1.2 million if it was. Well, 600k if you were selling 50 cents a litre and you were selling 1.2 million litres a year. So that's $600,000 a year that you're spending on material.
Say an average farm around that.
That's insane. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and people running their farms still at a loss regardless of that, because you've got the costs are so much more than people understand.
And like medicating sick animals and
feed. Feed's the big one. Feed, fuel, fertilizer, the 3 Fs. Seriously, it's a lot of money there. Electricity, water. If you have employees, wages. But then also vet bills and rural store bills and everything else. It's hundreds. It just is. Like, you can really run a very successful dairy and still make a bit of money, but your expenditure is hundreds of thousands. The bigger dairies, over $1 million expenditure a year to keep the business. It's big money. You get a milk check. Your milk check is, you get paid on how much milk you produce, right? So your milk check can be quite large, big. If someone saw it, they go, because I don't like talking about specifically how much money I make and all that, but you go, oh, that's so much money, but most of that money goes back into the farm in one way, shape or form. It's big figures in and out. And then the bottom line is not great, and that's why, so since deregulation in Australia, that was in the year 2000, we had 12,500 dairy farms in Australia, and now we've got around 4,000 left.
Wow.
So there's only a third of what there were only 20 odd years ago.
And those must be the 1,000 cattle.
The smaller guys are out. The bigger ones have remained. It's been grow or die, basically. We were, at the time, in the year 2000, we were on the bigger side, but we've stayed about the same. Herd size and all that, land size, and we've survived. We've weathered the storm somehow. But a lot of guys who were smaller.
Where does the milk that they were selling for like $1 a litre come from? Was
Australian dairy farms.
Just ripping you off, just straight up.
No, so in a roundabout way, yes. We never have personally. Our farm ever supplied Coles or Woolworths brand, but that milk does come from. People need to understand that milk is still Australian milk. I think people think, oh, it must be from over. None of the fresh milk you drink, the white is from overseas. It's all Australian. But they will have contracts with farmers. And but that $1 a litre milk, having it at that price, basically stopped other brands like we supply Dairy Farmers brand, or Bega, but they own Dairy Farmers brand. It stopped them from being able to increase their price as well because they couldn't compete with the cheaper price. Everything was dragged down.
Because
So there was it kept shelf prices at a certain level, which kept farm income at a certain level, income at a certain level, expenditure kept going up, and that just slowly killed the industry.
It's sad to see, And you look at even like the UK, for example, and they're a smaller country. They've got like 1 million different shops. They don't just have like Coles and Woolies. They've got like Tesco's and whatever.
It's too far gone here. It's too far gone. Unless you put serious regulation on them, which is very much against our economic policy. And you do that, you could actually cause a lot of stress in the economy. So a lot of people now rely on Woolworths and Coles. A lot of people rely on them for their income.
What do you think about like the whole Aldi thing? Like how I feel like they're trying.
How do you feel about the whole, it's like Seinfeld. What is this Aldi thing?
I feel like they're trying. But like,
I've only shopped at Aldi twice in my adult life.
Yeah.
And I don't enjoy the idea of packing my own bag. I'm called an undercover boomer by my friends because you're there, you're beyond one end of the conveyor belt. You got the bloody, cashier person there, ding, 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 bong, 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 sitting down on like an office chair, ding, 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 bong, 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 thing going, scanning things through like you wouldn't believe. And you're there going, hold on, I've got to put everything in the trolley myself as well. Like I'm still over here. Oh, this total was 100 and you're not ready for it. It's too much.
Yeah.
Too much stimulation for my. I'm very slow actually. Yeah. I'm just it's anxiety-inducing stuff.
I feel like that little boy when your mum runs off to grab.
You're legit like Look, Aldi's not for me. I think Aldi's for people who are looking things are pretty tough right now. Aldi is cheaper.
Yeah.
And there are other options that are cheaper, and it makes sense to go to places like that for a lot of people. No, nothing wrong with that going there if that's all you can afford.
Absolutely.
But I'm lucky that I can afford to go to. I often shop at IGA.
Yeah.
And I'm able, I'm lucky that I'm able to do that and support Australian industry as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because it's a different thing again. Have you ever been to the Costco?
No.
Near here? That's a whole different experience.
That's insane.
We don't have them where I'm from. Costco. That's bulk buying, isn't it?
Yeah. But even they've got a petrol station there where it's all American.
But you have to be a member.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like $500 a year or something?
No.
I think it's like
I'm pretty sure
50.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not much.
Oh.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's all right. And
Might be worth the travel.
Yeah.
Just about. Yeah.
But everything's in bulk and they're pretty good prices. But it's like, also if you're living by yourself, then it's like not worth it.
Yeah.
It's like
because you're buying in bulk.
Yeah, you have to buy.
I'm eating noodles for a month. Yeah.
Like you bought McGurry noodles at one point.
Yeah. And it was it lasts us a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got the fuel station there where you pay for the fuel before you actually get the fuel.
Yeah. Well, it's like that at small country convenience stores.
Oh, really?
Sometimes you'll go in because some of their pumps may not have people can rip them off at those places, more likely to.
Yeah.
So people will go in and say, I'd like to buy $20 worth of fuel, which would probably just get you home these days, But they oftentimes in those small country convenience stores where they've got a few fuel bowsers, go in, pay however much amount, and then be honest and put in that amount.
Yeah.
And,
wow. We figured out during like COVID when petrol was like insane.
It's worth more now though.
Yeah, I know.
Like it was insane then, but now it's even more.
Yeah.
I think I put diesel in on my drive here, and it was $2. In 10 years' time, people are going to go, "That was cheap."
Yeah.
But it was $2. Yeah, about $2.28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Far out.
A litre.
Yeah. That's not it normally. That's just over long weekend.
Okay.
Holidays.
It's up a lot. It's up a lot.
But like even someone posted on Facebook, it's like, oh, there's $1.90 fuel like somewhere. I'm like, it's sad that we think that's cheap now.
Yeah, because that was really expensive only 2-3 years ago. Sometimes it would spike to that, and you'd be like, oh god,
Yeah.
Now it's like, it's that much. Go down there and spend the money.
We figured out at one point that the fine for running away with fuel was less than it would cost for a full tank of fuel. Like the fine of it, wasn't it?
I mean, it's on your police record though.
Yeah.
You don't really want that, do you?
It's probably TikTok education.
Yeah.
That's another funny thing about TikTok. Is so many people rely on that for research.
Yeah, it's sad because you're taking someone's word for it.
Yeah.
People they say as if it's fact. It's just Chinese whispers.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or even like the whole alien thing. Have you seen that happened?
Like the weird ET looking ones from Mexico. Yeah, I saw them. Well, apparently the scans were they found no one had actually interfered with the corpses.
Really?
Yeah, that was what the news headline was. I haven't really looked into it that deeply. I promise, I'm not into that kind of stuff. But it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's certainly interesting. And how basically before that, how in the Congress that man basically said that aliens are real and no one even bat an eyelid. Yeah. It's like, we've seen Independence Day. I mean,
that's the thing. They're coming out with all these things and everyone's like, oh, okay, aliens, sick.
Yeah. Well, it's the universe is how big?
Yeah.
Of course something something else exists, whether it's, you know, as intelligent as we you know.
I've always thought there's probably something out there, but probably like microorganisms.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, like you don't
Of
even
course.
see.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Talking about farming, not aliens.
Yeah.
Cows look like aliens. What are we up to?
I'm going to blow my nose real quick.
Next point, your men's mental health work. You did the mullet, like Eli said. And then
Like Eli has.
Yeah, well,
Bit of a mullet.
he had a better
Or just,
Yeah, it used to be better.
it used to be better.
and then I cut it off. Missus didn't like it. Now, fuck the missus.
Yeah, just shave the sides. Shave the sides and you got a mullet again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm starting one again. I'm starting
yeah.
Yeah.
Look at it.
It's just not very fresh at the moment, but it's going to come back.
Yeah.
Not like it was.
Your
It
one
was ridiculous. No, it was so much hair.
Have you seen the photo?
It looked gnarly.
Oh, it was so much hair. You know, it was so much hair. I used to have to condition my hair every second day to condition the ends. Yeah, so I didn't get split ends. Because it was just, you know, it was munted. It was just so much hair.
You should go for the mullet and then the perm.
Well, that's what I did.
Did you perm it?
Yeah, before I shaved it off, it was permed.
I did not.
Yeah. Oh, gee. Oh, that's an interesting. It stunk. Oh, have you ever been near someone getting a perm? No, it's disgusting. It smells worse than a dead animal. I'm not kidding. The whole salon is just like filled with this pungent smell of this really odd chemical smells.
Yeah.
But they're disgusting. It stinks. It was weird.
Never again?
No. It was good for a bit of fun, but not something I would willingly go into again.
What did your dad think when you had the...
I came home, long hair Yahoo. That's what he thought. I mean, the whole time I had the mullet, he wasn't a fan. You know, he's old school. But when the perm came along, it was just like, what's he doing now?
Hey, at least you didn't come back with like a pink perm.
Oh yeah, no, that would have been. I wouldn't be alive anymore. I don't think.
But you did that for... Did you do mullets for mental health?
I did 2 years in a row. Yeah, mullets for mental health for the Black Dog Institute.
Yeah.
Raised around 30 grand all up.
Really?
Did well.
Raised $25,000 in 2021, and then raised $5,000 in 2022.
Yeah.
Although I had more of a mullet in 2022, less money going around for people. It's really hard to get donations when, you know, like in this climate.
Yeah.
You know, no one's got the money just to go, here's money, here's a donation. Like, they need it for their weekly budget now.
Yeah, exactly.
Different world.
Yeah.
But I was really, like, it's a beautiful thing to be able to do that.
That's awesome.
And with the mullets for mental health, like, a lot of mullet-wearing people are country young fellas, like around our age.
Yeah.
Your age, more so, not mine. These guys look older than they are. They're only like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, here I come in this...
You look our age.
Yeah, well, I think you look my age. No offence. Stay out of the sun, kids. But, but it was really important because a lot of other young men in the country have mullets.
Yeah.
So it's something we can all get around. But also a lot of young men in the country have mental health issues and don't want to talk about it because that's the stigma.
Yeah.
One which I am affected by.
Yeah.
You just don't talk about it. You don't say, and tradies.
Yeah.
You don't say when you're unwell up here. That's not manly.
Yeah.
And when actually, it's a lot of people say, oh, it's not weak to speak, right? I'm not a massive fan of that saying because it kind of gives you the idea that some people will still think that it is weak.
Yeah.
Really, it should be that it is brave to speak up.
Yeah.
It is courageous to speak up. Because, you know, you're taking a big leap. You're deciding to be very vulnerable with either a family member, a friend, or a professional when you make that leap. And that is such a brave thing to do.
Yeah.
And it should be like, good on you for bloody doing it. Not going, it's not weak to speak.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean? That's why I'm a bit like, everyone says it because they've heard it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the intention is there for people who say it. But I thought about it deeply. You know, I think it's just got a bit of a, you know, some people are still going to think you're a bit weak though.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But it isn't weak to speak and all that. And it is brave to speak up because 9 Australians die a day from suicide.
Yeah.
9 Australians a day die from suicide.
Well, even a couple this year, like personal people
you know.
I know, have like been taken from suicide. And it's a sad thing because like obviously they haven't felt like they can talk to someone about it. And it's either like, it's kind of sad because people live their daily lives and don't think about that because they're just on their own mission. and it's kind of sad to see in life, but it should be more spoken about. I feel like you've done a lot on your page. Like you've even opened up on your own page to random people about different things. Like I think you've cried a couple of times on your TikTok.
In videos,
Yeah. Which is good to see because
he's oversharing. Well,
Really?
some people are like, oh yeah, big time. He's oversharing, and it is like, emotion is and that's usually men who will say things like that. And it is, for some people, it's a lot to watch someone like they'll be projecting, or they'll be thinking I'm the same as all the other content creators who just do it for. And I know who I am, and if people want to critique me for that, that's their problem, But it's really important to speak about it, to make other, young women too, by the way, women and men, more women attempt suicide than men, but more men die from suicide. About 75% of suicide deaths are male. However, I believe the statistic is about 60 to 66% of attempts are women or females. And it's just, you wouldn't think that, would you, considering most death is male. So there's obviously an issue amongst women as well when it comes to speaking up about what's going on, shame or something else, who knows.
It's definitely a difficult topic, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. And it's not. It isn't if you decide for it not to be. And it only is because we've been conditioned to think that it is.
I don't know why it's a thing that we don't talk about it more, like openly. Like even people are afraid to talk about to talk to their own family about it. And I know people go to counsellors because they don't even want to talk to their family about it, which is kind of upsetting.
Well, that's true, but less so, I hope. I believe so anyway. I think more and more people who are more younger are starting to, realise it's just a normal thing of life. Whereas for a long time it was like, we're all perfect in a perfect society and no one can be upset.
Cup of concrete.
They used to send, a lot of the time, back in a long time ago, wives who were depressed, seriously mentally ill, were sent to homes. For illness. Away from their family forever. That is a real thing that used to happen. Men too, but it was really wives. A lot of wives who went really anxiety-driven or depression-driven people were sent to homes, away from their family, never seen again.
Well, they used to get the lobotomies and everything for it as well, which is just insane. How far we've come. That now it's like you can talk about it. No one's going to look at you any differently. Because it's better to overcome it. It's better to speak to someone than at their funeral. I think most people with a brain that head screwed on the right way realises that. And it's kind of sad to see as well, people come out of the woodworks when someone does pass away that they haven't even talked.
Oh, he was so great. Oh, he was lovely. Oh, wasn't she brilliant? She did this, she did that. He did this, he did that. Everyone's a hero when they die. And they care when they're dead, but when they're alive, they. Isn't that sad?
But we'll move on to you shaving your mullet off. For the World Cup.
That was a lot. I'm glad my head is shaped well. I had no idea how it was going to turn out. I thought, I'm going to be an egg. I'm going to be the biggest egg. And not an egghead in the sense of being clever, because an egghead's like a smart person. I'm like an egghead, literally. It's going to look like a massive egg. But my head was luckily well shaped. But it was a lot to lose it, because when you have a mullet, as you'll know, you put a lot of effort into it. It means a lot. It's a sacrifice you make almost. And you're part of a club, the mullet club. And sometimes they give you a bit of an ego too when you've got a big mullet. Seriously, no, they do. I definitely had a mullet ego. And when you lose it, it is a bit. But you got to remember that there are so many people out there with cancer. Blood cancer and other cancers, who because Leukemia Foundation, that's who I did the fundraiser for. It's all centred around blood cancers, but anyone who goes through chemotherapy, they lose their hair. They don't get to choose. And you do. If you do the fundraiser, you get to choose to shave your hair off, and it's a sacrifice well worth making, because you're making money for a charity and you're raising awareness around blood cancer, which affects so many people.
I got a photo of Eli's mullet up.
Okay.
If that was his original mullet.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, bloody hell! Bring it back. Actually, you can. That's a good photo. You can make that longer.
Well,
go a bit longer.
it's just I'm a tradie, and I'm like, it gets to summer, and I'm in a room.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like,
yeah, I know.
He's a dairy farmer.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I'm that sweat flies everywhere and everything. It's horrible.
I'm like, fuck, this is getting annoying.
Yeah. No, well,
There's a length longer than this, and it's good, but any longer than that, and it's starting to get too hot.
Yeah. I guess we're coming into the warmer months now.
it, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Keep it at that length for a while, maybe, and once maybe March comes along, start growing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then by the time winter comes through, it'll look like a real serious.
Yeah, but we wanted
mullet.
to do the mullets for mental health as well. Now that we got a bit of a following and try and
go for it.
Yeah. But,
There's a lot of other mental illness or mental health charities and organisations you can work with, but the Black Dog are fantastic.
Yeah.
We did it for when we graduated school. Our school did it, and all the seniors were allowed. We went to a private school, and you weren't allowed to grow your hair out, but they let us grow mullets. For
Oh, really? Wow.
We had our own donations and stuff.
Yep.
It was really good. And then in all our graduation photos, we all had mullets.
Yeah. That's really cool.
It was good.
No.
Yeah, I went to a Catholic school.
Yeah.
I don't think mullets would be allowed there.
No
way.
We were Catholic school.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, but I think they were pretty open-minded in the fact that if you brought up a good point, they'd let you do it.
Catholic schools are actually, I'm glad I went to I know it's a bit off topic, but I am glad that I went to a Catholic school.
Yeah. I'm glad I went there for the morals they taught me.
Yes. Yeah.
Not the religion side of it.
Yeah.
And not the education side was okay.
But even then, it's an insight into religion which you otherwise wouldn't have had.
Yeah.
And you learn from it.
Yeah.
I'm baptised a Catholic, but I'm not practicing Catholic.
Yeah.
So I went to Catholic when I went to Mass, Catholic Mass when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Haven't been in who knows how long now.
Father, son.
Yeah, but Christian people, by the way, is the most lovely people on the planet. Actually, the ones I've come into contact with, family people and all, they are lovely people, very generous people, and they've taught some really good values in their churches.
Yeah.
So
But we'll move on to your country trucker hats. The whole thing where you
nearly wore mine today, but I thought it's rude to wear one inside, so I didn't bring it.
Yeah. You're always wearing your country trucker hats. What's the story behind that?
So Country Trucker Caps. It's run by Knuckles.
Yeah.
CTC Knuckles. His name is really beautiful man. He's unapologetically himself. And he just. I don't know how he got a hold of my address, but he did. And randomly, every so often, a massive box arrives with all these caps in them. There's no massive story behind that so much. It's I like the shape of them for my massive head. Like, look at the size of this bloody thing. And I like the idea of helping out another small business. And he's a really decent man. He gives a lot of money to charities and stuff like that, and helps people out in his local area. He's a good guy. But he's a bit roughed. He's a bit roughed up. He'll see this now. He's a lovely man. No, but he's rough. He's a bit rough around the edges, but he's lovely. We've
also got your Bravery Buddy dolls.
Yeah.
Came up.
How cool's that?
That is awesome. Isn't it?
Oh, so it's lovely. And Tegan from Bravery Buddies is wonderful. We're visiting a children's hospital November 5th. So I think is the date. Go to the oncology ward and entertain and speak with some kids who have cancer. Which is absolutely, imagine that. Your kid has cancer. Like, that's horrible.
That's it.
And so bringing awareness to that, and bringing some joy to the lives of children is awesome. And what Bravery Buddies does is fantastic. She creates little companion dolls that are fashioned, like bespoke, to look like the kid. And they've got their little buddy with them through hospital. And then when they survive, for the rest of their life, they have that as a comfort and reminder of what they beat. The cancer. They beat it. And this thing they've got, they'll be 65, 70, 80, 90 years old. They got this doll. They look back at it and go, it's Bravery Buddy. I beat cancer when I was a kid. How awesome is that, But it's also a good comfort too. She gives them to, she makes them for children whose parents have cancer and maybe have passed away as well. Because imagine, being a 4, 5, 6-year-old kid and one of your mum or your dad or whatever, guardian, dies from cancer. That's a lot to go through for a kid.
And it's so hard for like a kid to understand even what that is. They've just started out their life.
Comprehending death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the age of 4, like I was too busy worrying about like what Matchbox car I've got or whatever. Yeah.
I remember my best friend when I was young, Bronson was his name, and he actually passed away from leukemia.
Yeah.
And he was around 10 years of age when he passed away, so we're the same age. And that was the first time that I was told that somebody died that really hit me. Yeah. So it's about that age is when you really actually understand what death is. Yeah. Because people in my life had died before that point, and I knew. But when I found out that he died, I remember that's the very first time my heart, like, you know, you can find out someone dies that you're close to, your heart sinks.
Yeah.
That was the first time that I was like I felt that, you know. Whereas so I understood death then, but I was 10. I wasn't like 4. Yeah. I think if he'd died when I was 4, I wouldn't have understood.
Yeah. And I don't know, it's a hard thing even for the parents. Like your parents, like telling you that your friend has passed away would have been hard, or however you found out. But like, even going up to a 4-year-old and going, your friend's died. Some parents don't have the heart to do that. They'll just be like, they moved, and then tell you later, which is still a sad thing to do. Yeah, but it's a good thing that, what was the lady's name?
Tegan from Bravery Buddies. Oh. Seriously, check it out. That is a really fair dinkum small charity to get behind. Yeah. Because they actually do something that really matters on a personal level.
We'll chuck the links to all the charities we mentioned below, because it's awesome stuff that you support. And
in fact, talking of charity, so recently, I guess I'd be careful what I say. Who knows? But
we can cut stuff out.
No, it's okay. They've already cut out half his interview. I just can't stop swearing on here. Yeah. No, there's
mouth over there.
Yeah, I'm a good boy. But I've been contacted recently to do some content for money.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. $2,000, and that's not something I ever come at.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of making money out of social media.
Yeah.
However, I said that the condition was, if you'd like me to do it's content to actually promote agriculture. So it'll have purpose. Yeah. The content itself, but the payment, I said I'll only do it if it can be donated to a charity of my choice. Yeah. Because I don't want to take the money. Yeah. And they said yes, so I'm going to do it to donate the money. Yeah. And that's why I wanted. So that's great too. You'll eventually, if you care enough and you're here still, you'll find out eventually. But but that's what I wanted to go back to. Deviate from charity was the social media people who make money out of it. Yeah. I absolutely detest it. Yeah. Vehemently detest it. Small business and private enterprise, it makes sense to make money out of social media, right? Yeah. But when you've got somebody with a large following who they are promoting things which they don't actually believe in. Yeah. They're promoting random items. Yeah. You know damn well they're making money out of it, or they're benefiting from material good. Yeah. And they're using their following as a bargaining chip. Yeah. And they just do not care at all for that following. Yeah. And I absolutely hate it, and I hate being put in that group of people. Yeah. Because people would look at me and go, he must do that. People always ask me, so how much money do you make out of social media?
We even get that question. Yep. And we've only been here for like...
But you're different though, I guess, because the intention is to probably monetize it. But that's an enterprise, and like it makes sense to.
Yeah. We want to do this for a living. We want to do it so we can do this.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, that makes sense. Yeah. I'm talking about an individual who is just totally self-centered. Yeah. And people look up to them. Yeah. Which I don't get. Yeah.
And there's a lot of, you see it as well, like there's a lot of greed. They can't just go with the basics. They've always got to go, they've given me a new Rolex that's like $60,000.
Oh, over the top stuff.
Yeah, but...
And the world's come really, self-centered and talking, like, it's all about money, what you have, instead of who you are.
Well, you see as well, for example, like you get a doctor and you get some girl showing some stuff up on OnlyFans. One of them's getting paid a lot more for doing a lot less to society, which I feel. Yeah. But...
Well, I guess you could, not to defend something which I would never do, you know. I'm trying to be polite.
Sex work's still
Well, it is
work.
sex, yeah, and it is, and it's a good way, you know. But it is, that's what I'm trying to say is that it is still important.
Yeah, it's still important.
Actually.
Yeah.
I guess it's a bit of a shame that everyone makes fun of it, including myself. But I don't mean to be rude to anybody, and I'd hate for anyone to feel lesser because of what I've said. But it is still important to an extent.
It is still
maybe not as important as a doctor. But it is important to our society because it helps people's mental health, probably. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
And it probably helps a lot of lonely people as well.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
The sex.
There's way more merit in that. Way more merit in that than these social media pariahs.
Yeah. The sex work trade is insane. Like, it's massive around the world. Like, even like the whole like porn industry is like multi-billion-dollar industry, which is still work, I guess.
It always will be.
Yeah.
Sex sells.
Yeah, that's true.
It does.
Thumbnails.
Sex,
Amy, you're a thumbnail for this.
sex, drama, and toxicity.
Yeah.
Separate to the sex. Those two things sell well as well.
Yeah.
And you'll see that a lot on social media, the TikTok lives and all that. The manufactured, totally manufactured drama.
That we hate farming. I'm on here to rough them up big time. When the camera's off,
I'm bloody rough them up all right. But they do. They manufacture the drama to get suckers to give them gifts. Because they're on a team.
Here's a question for you, because you do a lot of lives. I don't know if people give you gifts that often.
They do on occasion. I have them on because I'm against I'm against. You can turn gifts off. But you got to do it at the beginning of every single live.
Okay.
So even if you have the intention to, it's very easy just to forget. So I have gifts on still. I don't do TikTok battles because that's asking people for money. But if people want to give me the money, I take the gifts, but I don't take the money personally. So I've got like a little, what they call a wallet or a balance on TikTok. And I convert them into TikTok coins so that I can eventually
just spread them around.
Promote charitable videos with it. That's my intention. I know when you spoke to Paul Fluffy Sinclair, he was quite upset that he had a lot of money that he had no longer access to, which would be annoying for me as well, but for a different reason, because I want to use mine for charity. Like, you know, and I think that's great. And that's what I say to people. I say, don't give me. You know, but then I explain, I do have someone says, oh, you got gifts on. The gifts are on still, you know. It's like, well, if someone is really keen to, I'm going to take advantage of that and promote a charity with the money one day. You know? Well, probably Bravery Buddies.
Well, TikTok's got that other thing now that you can, like, subscribe or something.
I don't even understand it because I refuse to. Because it's just money making. Don't forget, these influencers who make a killing out of TikTok makes a killing out of them. Oh, yeah. They are the cattle. TikTok's the farmer. Seriously, and they milk them for all they're worth. They make big money.
Because that's TikTok does not pay well.
Well, that's a new thing. They came up with a new creator fund, but you can only access it if you're in the States. Australia still gets the old one where it's like pennies.
I don't think we even have a creator fund. No creator fund. I don't make any money. The only money I can make money is through TikTok lives.
Really?
Yeah, or video gifts, which no one does.
I thought it was per 1,000 views you get like 2 cents.
No.
Wow, I know in America they definitely have the...
I might have made a couple thousand by now, you know? Legit, you know, not much. There isn't much money in the actual creator fund in America, the UK... Spain, a few other countries have it. No, Australia doesn't have a creator fund.
Really? Have you ever thought of making longer form content, like YouTube videos, or you said before podcasts maybe? Yeah,
I've thought about it. It's my issue is time. Like, I just don't have not only just the time, but I don't think I have the energy to sit down and edit an entire video of myself doing things. I edit, like the videos I've got on TikTok, I done on my phone. Edited very old school, not even on an app. I time it myself. I cut and all that.
So you don't even use CapCut? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah, I don't use it.
Yeah, wow.
No, I do it my own way. Wow. And it suits. It's done well. You know. It's if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because I think if I start, I could do a podcast more likely. YouTube, no, because that's a lot of editing of videos.
Well, right.
Podcasts is a lot of editing too. Unless you're fortunate enough to not need to cut too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it flows well. But a
Not like this one
TikTok.
because Andy.
Yeah, I know.
It's so
The amount of things they've cut
controversial.
out. It's like, have you seen that Simpsons episode where there's a clock in the back and they make out in an interview with Homer Simpson, they make him out to be like some horrible man and the time on the clock keeps changing because it's like clearly edited. But yeah, luckily there's no clock here, otherwise you guys would be going, what is, their clock's broken. It keeps skipping time. But yeah.
We'll go on to, we'll do the polls, we'll write it out. You do a lot of, on your lives again, you do a lot of polls where you ask.
We love the polls. Okay, they're fantastic. I do that a lot too.
But Amy has got the questions. We can all answer them
Yep. Okay.
because,
I got fined on the burst.
oh, here we go.
Okay, yeah.
Producer, eh?
Hi.
Yeah, go.
First time, buddy. Okay. Is it ladybug, ladybird, or lady beetle?
Here you go. We'll go Andy first.
For the bug or for the vehicle, because there's a car as well. Do you mean
The beetle, I think.
Like the insect.
The insect.
it's a ladybug?
Yeah. Ladybug.
Yeah?
I
Ladybug.
say,
It's a lady beetle.
I say all three.
No,
It just
it's,
depends.
Now you gotta pick one. You gotta pick one.
it's yeah.
Ladybug.
Yeah.
Yeah, ladybug.
Yeah. That's it.
We all agree. That's good
That's it.
on this one.
So when you're cooking a meal, do you preheat the oven or do you just leave it in for longer?
I barely ever use my oven now. It's more of an air fryer thing.
Yeah.
But if I was using the oven, I would preheat
Yeah.
because it's fan forced.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it wasn't fan forced, you don't have to. Isn't that how it works? I don't know. Kitchens aren't really like my forte. I don't really cook that much. But yeah, no, I preheat. Do you guys preheat?
Preheat.
I don't
Preheat.
These guys, we're all pretending like we cook things. Yes, I preheat.
He doesn't
I
preheat.
love
He's
an air
weird.
fryer though. I do love an air fryer.
Air fryer.
They are the best invention ever.
They are. Alright. Next one.
This one's worded a little bit weirdly, but if you want to make your fridge cooler, do you turn it up or down?
Your temperature goes down.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Do you say up?
Temperature.
He's got to think about it.
No, I'd say temperature down, but it.
Yeah, the temperature's down.
Yeah, I know, but it depends. If probably I'd accidentally say temperature up. I'd probably accidentally say it at some point. But
I potentially have too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an honest mistake.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. We need more controversial polls.
Yeah.
Is it potato scallop or potato cake?
Scallop.
Scallop.
It's not a bloody cake. If you're watching this or listening and you call it potato cake, what is wrong with you? You don't bake it. It's not a cake. It's a scallop.
Well, a lot of the New South Wales people.
They call it a scallop. I think
I think
it's
it's a Melbourne thing.
yeah, Victoria, South Australia. They say potato cake.
The
They're
whipping.
sadistic people. That's where, and Tasmanians probably too. Yeah, so
Let's do everything weird.
we love Tasmania, by the way.
And the last one, arguably the most important one, is it a Parma or a Palmy?
I say Parmigiana. Shh.
Oh, because you're fancy.
I do. I never call it Parma or Palmy. I call it Parmigiana.
I go palmy.
Palmy. Yeah, palmy.
Why don't you want to say the whole thing out? Parmigiana. Parmigiana.
I just imagine like you say that and the guy with like the massive pepper crackers.
Yeah. My Parmigiana. More cracked pepper, please. Yeah.
And then we had the obvious one that we came up with a while ago, and your sock shoe.
Yes. I am sock shoe.
Yes. Socks.
Who was it? Your father?
Yes.
He's sock shoe.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting man, no doubt. No, he's probably just like he likes things done in a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
He said it was an army thing. Didn't
I
he?
think it's
Oh,
I
okay.
Yeah.
think. Well, I'm not sure.
But
In the army, was he?
Yeah.
yeah. I suppose then you've at least got one shoe on.
That's what he says. He's like, if there's ever an
I mean, isn't that more of a hindrance? Isn't that more of a hindrance than anything? Like one, you're better off having no shoes on or both on, not one. Like, no, quick, run! My spacing's all out. You know? Yeah, it's strange. Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll wrap up. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
I could talk about a lot of things. I can talk for a long. How far in are
We
we?
are.
hour and 20.
Oh, is that a long one for you guys?
It's
It's like a Joe Rogan, buddy. Yeah, he goes for hours, doesn't he?
Can you ever be on Rogan?
No, I don't think so. You know, but I can talk about life advice.
Yeah.
You know, life advice. Love many, trust few. Always paddle your own canoe.
Wow.
Quote of the day.
Quote of the day.
Quote of the day. Not mine. I didn't come up with that, unfortunately. But love many, trust few. Always paddle your own canoe. Which means love many is be kind to as many people as you can. Be loving as to as many people and generous, unless their character proves undeserving of it.
Yeah.
You know, trust few. Don't air your dirty laundry out to anyone and everyone, which is a thing on social media. But in life, people do that. They tell others too much.
Too much. Yeah.
You know, you don't like that's there's standards that have been lost in our society. People just want to tell everyone everything bad about what's going on.
Yeah.
So trust few. Don't go airing your dirty laundry out to everyone. And also have people in your life, if you can, a small circle of people you can trust
Yeah.
to help you
Yeah.
and be good to you. And be like that for somebody else as well. And then also always paddle your own canoe, basically to say, at the end of your life, you don't want to be looking back going, I lived according to how somebody else wanted me to live.
Yeah.
I paddled my own canoe through life. I got through it my own way. You may have done things wrong along the way, but without doing things wrong, you'll never learn, you'll never grow. It's all character building. And if you go along to the dance to the bloody beat of somebody else's drum the whole way through, you're going to end up, however old you get to at the end, looking back with a lot of regret.
Yeah.
So always paddle your own canoe. I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, that is an awesome thing.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
We also had a final thing. We've started a new thing where we're going to ask our past guest a question for the next guest.
Okay.
And
Who's your next guest?
We have a question for you.
From
Boris. He's an old.
Yeah, who's Boris? Let us know. Who's Boris?
Is an old 70s kids TV show.
I'm sure he'd love you describing him as old.
Yeah.
The magnificent Boris.
Yeah, he said
the bountiful, beautiful Boris.
142.
Oh, is that how old he is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's a world record, isn't it? Boris really is magic. Holy cow.
But I asked him for a question, and he said, I don't want to give you a question. He said, just to say thank you for all your work that you do for Australia.
Oh, thanks, Boris. That's very kind, Boris. And right back at you. I mean, you actually helped. He was on television, you said?
Yeah,
You helped, helped Australian society, probably helped a lot. His audience would have been younger, I suspect.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Boris. If you're watching this, yeah, man, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. And thank you for actually being an entertainer. Can be quite difficult, especially for years.
He burnt down 7 studio.
Not 7 studios, like you mean Channel 7 studios. I thought you meant like several different studios. Magic!
He legit burnt down the 7 studio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he didn't burn down. But it was questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
Awesome
but
stuff, Boris.
We don't have a guest lined up, but any question for our next guest?
My question to your next guest would be, what was the most difficult experience you've gone through in life, and how did that make you who you are today?
Oh, okay. Easy.
That's a good one.
Good question.
That is a good question.
I like a deep question like
Deep
that.
question?
Love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything to promote? Promote your pages.
If you're watching this, you probably know who I am.
Yeah.
So, I'm not like that, I'll say this though, thank you, because it gives me a lot of purpose in life to have people who actually care about what I think and say, and it's awesome. And you guys are in the same boat now.
Yeah.
Like, it's people watch you because they like you.
Yeah.
And if you're a good person and you're authentically yourself, people are drawn to you like a moth to a flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming, Andy. It was interesting to hear your story.
Yeah.
Good advice that you've given us and the people watching. And thank you for, again, all you do for us. And thank you for supplying my girlfriend with infinite dares.
Yeah, well,
Thank you for your service, Andy.
iced coffee dares. It's not like we know each other personally and I send her a dare like, walk through the main street with no shoes on. No, it's lovely. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
Easy. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you. See you.
See you guys.
This is a thumbnail.
Yeah, we'll take a normal photo.
Hey!
She got a body like a goddess, and she talks so sweet. And if I'm really being